Right now, we're all going to meet with the former editor-in-chief for New York Magazine, New York Times best-selling author and author of the great book, Guilty as Sin. Ed Klein joins us. Hello, sir.
Great to be here.
Good to see you on this very festive occasion.
I'll say.
All right, so first of all, before we get to Hillary, and I got a lot to ask you about Hillary.
Right.
Obama, you know, he has trashed Trump. He's called him a racist, basically. Said he accepts endorsements from the KKK. Said that the other day.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. But he also pointed to something I thought was very telling today, and in a good way. He said, you know, I disagreed with George W. Bush when I took over, and we had a great transition process.
Thanks to George.
And he said that. And he said that,
right.
really. And he thinks that this transition could be the same. Do you believe it's going to be a smooth transition?
Yes, I do. I do, because I think Trump wants it to be smooth, I'm told, by his people.
Well, I would imagine that.
Yeah, and I think Obama's not going to throw any logs in his way.
Oh, good. I
think it'll be smooth.
I hope you're right. I know he made it all about himself, Obama.
As always.
This is my legacy. If you get out there, otherwise it's me. I'll take it personally. So I guess I'm asking a question that I've already answered. But based on what you've reported about the Clintons and the Obamas,
yes.
Aside from the legacy issue, which is hard to do, how do you think there's any satisfaction in Obama's mind that Hillary actually lost?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I don't think he wanted her to lose because, after all, he didn't want Trump to undo the legacy,
right.
which is what you just said.
Yes.
On the other hand, if the Clintons disappear as real political force, it leaves Obama as the head of the party. He's still, you know, the former president, outranks everybody else, and he's going to live in Washington, D.C. He's renting a huge mansion not far from the White House. Valerie Jarrett's going to live there with them. It's going to be like a White House redux or something like that. So in that regard, I think he probably is thinking to himself, I'm going to have a lot of influence going forward.
So he thought, well, while it was a bad thing for his legacy, there might be a little part of him that's smiling?
It's called ambivalence.
Yes,
ambivalence.
Yes.
He's ambivalent. I think, clearly his legacy is in big trouble.
Right.
Yes. He knows it.
Yeah.
But, the Democrats are going to have to reassemble. They're going to have to figure out why this happened to them. All this stuff that the Democrats are facing now. And Obama is going to be part of that conversation. And the Clintons, in my view, are not. Okay,
well, that's an interesting. Now, to me, there's a lot of ways you could remember Hillary Clinton. First, let me ask you: have we seen the last of her? Do you believe that? Well, what do you think? We saw her today.
Yeah.
She teared up when she said it was a very painful experience.
Yeah.
But what was her reaction, do you think, while the results were coming in?
Well, here's what I know, not my opinion.
Okay.
About 6:30 this morning, she called an old friend. She was crying inconsolably. She couldn't stop crying. And her friend said her female friend from way, way back, said it was even hard to understand what she was saying. She was crying so hard. This is Hillary we're talking about. Eventually, her friend said she could make out that she was blaming James Comey, the director of the FBI, for her loss, and this I don't understand exactly, the President of the United States for not doing enough.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Now, when I said to this source, what did she mean by that? She said, well, Hillary felt that the President could have stopped Comey a long time ago, because that's what Bill
so not
said.
that he didn't campaign enough, but that he didn't do enough within the realm of the FBI investigation.
Yes, exactly.
Huh.
I mean, with the Clintons, and especially with Hillary, it's never her fault.
Oh, well, of course. Do you think she went to bed early, not thinking she won, but because she, went to bed and then woke up at 6:30, found out, and called her friend?
No.
I mean, she stayed up all night, you think?
She stayed up all night,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And but with the Clintons, it's always somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
And it's been this way with Hillary all her career.
So forget the legal jeopardy that she might be in a new Justice Department, a new administration, whether it's the Clinton Foundation or her emails. Forget that aside, it's a big aside. what happens to the Clintons right now? I mean, what do they just keep the Clinton Foundation right off into the sunset, keep making speeches for a lot less money, by the way, I would imagine? What do they do?
Well, think about it. If you were a rich businessman and you have been donating tons and tons of money to the Clinton Foundation because...
I want my money back.
Exactly. You're saying to yourself, well, you know, she's going to be the next president. That's why. You know, and I'm going to get some favors back.
Come over and do my laundry now, I guess, right?
Now the Clintons are past tense and powerless, and I can't imagine any comeback whatsoever.
No.
The question is what's going to happen to the Clinton Foundation. I think it's going to shrink. I think Hillary will probably make some speeches, as you say, not anywhere near the money, maybe a book. Somebody said to me, well, she could be a president of a university. You know,
like Donna Shalala?
Yeah, I don't think so. That's a lot of work. You got to raise a lot of money, and you can't put it in your own pocket.
You're under scrutiny. That's for darn sure.
Right.
What was going through your mind when you watched her tear up giving the speech today?
I thought it was a good performance, solid performance.
Are you insinuating she faked the tears? No.
No.
Okay. I mean, maybe you are. I don't.
No. I'm not. But I don't. You know,
In reality, was she more angry, as the phone call indicated, than sad when she cried to the friend, and when she cried today?
She could not make a concession speech last night because she couldn't pull herself together. Period. By what is it, 12:30 or 11:30 this morning?
Yeah, a little later.
She finally got the makeup, the hairdo, the dress, and had settled down. Maybe, for all we know, had a doctor give her a little, you know, a little boost.
B12 shot.
Yeah, a B12 shot or something like that. And she came out, and I thought she did a perfectly fine job. As far as the tears are concerned, yeah, this woman has wanted to be president of the United States at least since she went to college.
Will she be remembered by a significant number of people, and maybe her epitaph will be ran for president twice and lost?
Well, of course. I think she'll be nothing much more than a footnote in history. I mean, what great achievement did she make while she was Secretary of State except screwing up the Middle East? She didn't do anything. She didn't do much in the Senate either. So I don't see her being a big historical figure.
Great to see you, my friend. Thank you very much. The great Ed Klein, ladies and gentlemen. The book, Guilty as Sin. How did Wall Street react to all this? We'll talk about it next. Don't go away.